His broadcasting career was not without its complications. He received his fair share of letters from well-wishers and from cranks who were also well-wishers. To one Brisbane lady who promised to regularly send him messages from the dead, Batty replied, "Thank you for your offer, but I am a busy man and cannot find time to add to the necessities of my correspondence." I'll mention just one other thing. In 1944, Japanese-controlled Radio Saigon, what do they know about Bishop Batty, transmitted a message addressed to him from a Reverend Chambers, allegedly an Australian prisoner of war. Batty responded to this by consulting the Anglican Clerical Directory Crockford's and, quote, finding nothing corresponding to Chambers, he concluded that he had no real existence. It was a remarkable expression of faith in the inerrancy of Crockford. Well, I'll move on to the centenary of the diocese, because even before the war had ended, Batty was making preparations to celebrate the centenary of the diocese of Newcastle in 1947. Together with two other dioceses, Adelaide and Melbourne, Newcastle could trace its origin to a ceremony in Westminster Abbey on St Peter's Day, 1847, when four men, including Tyrrell, were consecrated to serve as colonial bishops. Batty used the occasion not only to honour Tyrrell, but to show that Australian Anglicans were proud of their church, whose influence, he said, and history is wrought into the very fabric of our national life, here as well as in our motherland. It was an opportunity of reaffirming links to Britain at a time when Batty and other Anglo-Australians were anxiously following Britain's attempt to recover from the war and deal with the demise of its empire. The centenary of the diocese coincided with the sesquicentenary of Shortland's discovery of the Hunter River. It was due largely to Batty's lobbying efforts that the title of Lord Mayor was conferred upon Newcastle's first citizen. One of the most effusive letters of thanks he received for securing this honour for the city came from the Waratah branch of the Australian Labor Party. The diocesan celebrations climaxed on Saturday, June 28, 1947, with a pilgrimage to Morpeth to pay homage to Tyrrell. Led by bishops and clergy, approximately 15,000 church people marched in procession from Morpeth Parish Church to Tyrrell's grave in the Morpeth Cemetery, where Batty called for a minute's silence. It was, he wrote, literally a silence which could be felt. We were united in the fellowship of a common emotion, and the consciousness of that fellowship was almost overpowering. Several international visitors attended the second phase of the centenary celebrations in 1947. Perhaps the most distinguished visitor was Bishop Oldham of Albany, New York, a friend of the late President Roosevelt's. The Bishop of Lichfield came too. His wife left an indelible impression on the Battys. Each morning of her stay at Bishop's Court, she put on, in reverse order, all the clothes she would wear for the day, shedding most of the layers as the day proceeded. That saved time, but remember it was October.